Okay, in this lesson we're going to be learning about basic graphical user interface, or GUI, input and output. In our previous videos we saw how to write to the console and read from the console, just basic text that was just presented, no frills at all. Today we're going to learn how to pop up little windows to display text or to let users type into those windows so that we can get their responses. So, input and output in Java is rather interesting because Java is supposed to work on any operating system, any machine, but displays look a lot different everywhere. So there are a bunch of different packages that provide the user input and output routines to be able to pop up windows that look like a certain style. These are built into the Java language, but you have to import the packages that you want. So two of the more popular ones are the Swing package, or javax.swing, and JavaFX, which is fairly new. It's only been out for a couple of years. JavaX.swing has been around for, more than 10 years, probably 15 years. And there's an awful lot of code out there that supports it. We're going to today concentrate on the Swing packages. We'll do a little bit with JavaFX later on in the course. So within the JavaX.swing package, we're going to learn about two methods today. We're going to learn about how to pop up a message dialog box and an input dialog box. These correspond to writing some output and getting some input. So here's a basic example. Take a look here. This is what a text box or a message box looks like. There's a little title. There's a prompt. There's a button for you to say OK. There's a little icon here. This I means this is informational. So the method that does this is called show message dialog. Let's see how that works. Here's the syntax. J option pane, which is the name of a class that's in the the JavaX.swing package. So J option pane dot show message dialog, and then we have to give it its parameters. First parameter is a pointer to the parent, meaning if you were doing a complicated system of windows, you could have a dialog box that was subordinate to a specific window. We're going to always leave that one null, which means this pops up in the middle of the overall display. The parent is the overall display. It's always going to work to put a null in here. Message text is the string that you want to include. In this example, we've got your text goes here. Message title. This third parameter is optional. You don't have to put it in. If you do put it in, whatever you give it shows up at the top of your message box. If you don't put it in, it just says message up there. If you just want to quickly put something in and you don't mind that it says message up there, leave that parameter out. And the last parameter, the fourth parameter, which is also optional, gives you what this little icon is going to be. There are several of them that are built in that are available to you. You can get to it by putting in joptionpane.information message. That gives you this little I. Plain message gives you nothing. Warning message, question message, and error message will give you different icons, and we'll see examples of those on the next couple of pages. If you leave it out completely, you get the I. So here's some examples. If we say J option pane show message dialog, null, which we'll always do, your text goes here, your title goes here, J option pane dot information message, we get this box right here. Your text goes here, is in the main area. Your title goes here, is up at the top. Always have the OK button, and this one we told it to have information message. Now this next example, we took defaults for the third and the fourth parameter. We still have the null. We'll always have that for our first parameter. And we said message with no title. So what shows up? Message with no title. What shows up on the top? We didn't tell it anything, so it just puts the word message up there. What happens for the icon? We didn't tell it anything, so it chooses informational icon. Here's a couple of other examples. We've still got a null, we've changed the message, we've given it a title, and now we've used the icon for plain message. Notice there's no icon at all over here. Our message starts over in the left margin. On this one, we called it an information message. We get the I. Here's three other examples. The difference in these is that this is the warning message icon, this is the question message icon, and this is the error message icon. If in your program you want to get somebody's attention and say, whoa, you did something that's going to make me stop the program, you probably want to put something like this. Red X gets people's attention and says, something's wrong. A warning, hey, something's wrong, but I can recover. A question, hey, your turn, user. Give me some help here. So see if you can figure out what code you'd write to get each of these taken care of. You don't have to do it right now, but it might be worthwhile coming back and seeing if you can figure out what parameters you'd need. Okay, that's it for the output, the message box, where all we're doing is giving information to the user. How about when we want to get information from the user? We pop open an input dialog box. It looks like this, a lot like the message box. There's a title up here, there's an icon, there's a prompt that we give a text for, but now there's also a space for people to type into. And instead of just OK, it gives us OK and cancel. OK will send what you've typed in, cancel will send it back as if you had typed nothing. So how do we do this? In javax.swing, that's the package, JOptionPane, that's the class, there's a method called showInputDialog that lets us control these features. Let's see how we do it. The syntax for this is we have to have some variable, a result equals. That result has to be a string variable, and it's going to get whatever it is we typed into this spot here will show up in our program in whatever variable we've got here, provided we've created a string variable. Then we do jOptionPane.showInputDialog, give it the prompt, which could be just text in double quotes, or we might have this prompt saved as a variable somewhere. In this case, I've got it saved as a variable called prompt. And we can give it the default answer, what to put here to start the user out. The prompt is required. The default answer is optional. If you leave it out, you get a blank here. Whatever they type is what you get in your program. If you want to say the default is a particular answer, because that's used more often than not, to make it easier for the user to just hit OK without typing, great, that's up to you. Completely optional. So let's see some examples. Name equals jOptionPane.showInputDialog, enter your name. Here I didn't give it a default, so what happens? I get enter your name, a blank line. I'm always going to get the question icon, I'm always going to get OK and cancel, and I'm going to get, for the title, just input. Here I want them to give me my favorite color, so I've got another variable, which has to already have been declared as a string, color equals jOptionPane showInputDialog. Now I've used both parameters. What is your favorite color? And give it a yellow. The input dialog box pops up with yellow already typed in. And it's highlighted so they can just start typing blue or purple or red, and it'll completely overwrite that. If they like yellow, they'll just hit OK. Alright, those are our examples of both the message box and the input dialog box. The next video will give you some examples of actually typing this in Eclipse and what you can see. Thanks and good luck.